Moving on, Anthony Gale, co-founder and CEO of Promolans, will explore how AI transforms pricing strategies in his talk, AI-Powered Pricing, Smarter Decisions, Bigger Profits. By leveraging data to predict consumer behavior and price elasticity, businesses can make real-time adjustments that maximize profitability and competitive advantage. How? That will tell us Anthony. Anthony, please join me on the stage.
Hey, it's working. Cool. Good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here in Belgrade. As you can tell, I'm from London. Now, for those that don't know me, my name's Anthony Gale. And for the last 20-odd years, I've been working in e-commerce, and I've built many businesses. And I've witnessed pretty much every pricing strategy that there's possible. Some good, and unfortunately, quite a lot that are very, very bad. I founded companies and I've started startups. But most importantly, I've worked out what really works with pricing. I've worked out what, sorry, I'm all over the place now. So let me kick things off with a scenario that I think will be fun, really. So Apple's released the latest iPad. It's amazing. It's got all the features you want. It's super fast, it's super powerful, super shiny, and it's Apple, so it's going to be great. Now, if I said to you that was going to be 20,000 euros, who would want one? No one, really. I mean, it's great, but it's not that great. Now, what if I said to you that I could get you that same iPad for just 100 euros? Who would have one? We'd all have one. It'd be amazing. Like, you know, why wouldn't you? And this is the eternal challenge of pricing. Finding that balance between driving sales and maximizing profitability and keeping your margins healthy. And that's where the magic happens. So today what we're going to do is we're going to explore how AI takes this tricky balancing act and transform this into a science. So there's no more guesswork. There's no more dartboards, throwing a dart, hoping for the best. It's just smart, data-driven decisions that help you find that sweet spot time and time again. Sorry, guys. So let's take a look into back into history and look how we've been doing pricing in the past. For years, we used traditional pricing strategies that sound sensible in theory, but in reality, not so much. We got stuff like cost plus, competitive pricing, dynamic pricing. Sorry, guys, I'll keep moving with this microphone. But in practice, actually, do you know what? It's even more random than this. There's no real rule or planning to this. So in the 70s and 80s, for those that are old enough to remember that, it was generally cost plus pricing. So the cost of the products, you add a margin on top, 20, 30, 50, 100%, whatever it is, whatever you think you can get away with, really. Unfortunately, this is still very, very common. It's still done quite a lot. So in the 90s, the trend was to move on to what we call competitive pricing. Let's all undercut each other. Let's all kind of price match at the very, very least. It was great for consumers, but really for the businesses, it wasn't. It really wasn't a good idea. So in the noughties, the 2000s, we arrived at dynamic pricing. Prices were adjusted in real time, very, very quickly. Obviously, e-commerce is a big play in this. If you look at someone like Amazon, they change their prices 2.5 million times a day. That's a day, 2.5 million times a day. Unfortunately, though, even dynamic pricing lacks real insights into understanding the deeper factors that influence demand. It's safe to say that traditional pricing strategies are like using a flip phone in the smartphone era, the old Nokia 3210 or whatever it is. They lack the precision and accuracy that's needed in today's super savvy market. Consumers are more savvy on the ball than ever. And this is where AI sweeps in to save the day. Okay, so now, what's the latest? What is AI-powered pricing? What does it look like? Well, in short, it's a game changer. AI takes pricing from static and reactive to dynamic and proactive by understanding and predicting consumer behavior. Remember what I was talking about with the iPad? Well, everyone has a price that they would buy that iPad at. Everyone has their own price elasticity. And with AI, it's about understanding that. It's about understanding the different factors that influence demand. It calculates the thousands upon thousands different scenarios and factors that have an influence on price. Consumer behavior, market trends, competitive pricing, weather, seasonality, fashions. It's like having a crystal ball that actually works. It's like having a psychic constantly forecasting your pricing predictions. And it's making that constant tweaks and adjustments all the time. That's AI-powered pricing. So let me tell you this story. This happened to me just, honestly, a few weeks ago. Dynamic pricing has come into what is even the most kind of sacred place for an Englishman, the pub, okay? I was absolutely gobsmacked, horrified, okay? I went into this pub, and it was Friday night, it was packed. People go to the pub after Friday, they've had a stressful week, looking forward to that pint, and then you see a sign up on the wall, dynamic pricing in action. Right? What the hell is this? Like, you know, you go up to the bar, and that pint, this is central London, so it's going to be expensive already, and it's like €2 more because surge pricing. Everyone's there. It's a popular night. It's Friday night, okay? So what are you going to do? Okay, you might just wait a while and wait for the surge to die down, or actually more likely, what you're going to do, you're going to go home, you bugger off somewhere else, you go to the pub, another pub that's not doing this. And you're probably not going to go back to that pub ever again. So how does AI pricing actually work? So let's dig a little deeper. Here are some of the ways in the way that AI is changing the way that we constantly set, as retailers set prices. So first of all, we have real-time adjustments. AI can change pricing to live data. It can adjust based on consumer demand, consumer trends, or even, you know, if the real-time competitor changes its prices. So if a competitor changes its price, you can match that, or actually don't match it. Because what it does, it calculates what's the best action for you. So next one, we have dynamic contextualization. Now this is a real cool one. This is something that's really interesting. It can incorporate external factors, the weather, social media, regional nuances, and it allows you to optimize those prices accordingly. So let's say it's a really hot day. AI might automatically raise the prices of cool drinks or ice cream. Now finally, price optimization modeling. Now this is the really clever part of AI pricing. It doesn't just go for price matching. It learns complex relationships like cross-price elasticity. It can calculate, for instance, how changing the price of one item impacts the effect of complementary or substitute items. It's like having a pricing strategist, a data analyst, and a data scientist, the whole team of these people working for you constantly, and they never sleep. They're always there for you. So let's take this to life with a real world life example. At PromoLens, we work with a large pharmacy chain where they were facing an ongoing struggle with their promotions. They were losing money on ineffective promotions and missing the mark on optimal pricing. So they implemented an AI-powered solution to analyze past data, promotional data, okay? And they integrated real-time market scenarios to analyze and predict the best future pricing promotion scenarios. By letting AI take the reign, they reduced promotion spending and increased revenue significantly. They weren't guessing anymore. They were following the data. Now, it's very easy as a retailer to stick a sell sign on something. Half price, 20% off, whatever it is. We've all done that. But AI turns that tactic into a science. We're not just discounting unnecessarily. It's targeted, it's precise, it's accurate. Okay, so you're a retailer or an e-commerce company. What's the benefits for you? Well, obviously, increased margins. It's about making more money. AI enables you to set the right price at the right time, optimizing promotions and cutting back on discounts that destroy value. Did you know that 40% of all promotions are value destroying? Now that means that you shouldn't have done them in the first place. You're not making any money on that. You're losing money potentially. You sold something at a loss. Now what we do is we call that zombie sales. There's no point in doing that. So the next thing is better customer engagement, a personalized price for you, your specific price. It's going to make you feel that that's fair. I'm happy with that price. You are pricing that for me. That means I'm going to trust the brand. I'm going to trust the company more. And this allows you, this personalization allows you to keep your customers loyal and engaged. Finally, faster decisions. Okay? AI's automation makes life easier. It removes the need for exhaustive manual calculations, allowing you to make the fast, data-driven decisions. If you've been in retail, if you've been in e-commerce, you'll have Excel spreadsheets, you'll be trying to calculate things. Your mind just blows. The amount of calculations that you can try and attempt to do, and it's nowhere near what AI does. And these decisions are all done at the speed of a processor, the speed of a supercomputer. It's like having that team of data scientists, the merchandisers, and again, they never take a break. Oh. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now some of you might be wondering, how do we get started with AI-powered pricing? So, good question. First of all, you need to integrate the right data. Sales, social media, competitor data pricing, and more. You also need a tech stack that incorporates real-time analytics. We can't just plug AI in and expect magic. Success with AI requires strategic planning and alignment with your business goals. It's the whole business that needs to sign into it. Otherwise, it's like sticking a rocket engine onto a bicycle. It's about finding the right fit. So just to give you guys a quick overview of what PromoLens is about. So we're a London and Belgrade-based company. And what we've done is we've developed a cutting-edge AI-powered analytics platform. It's designed to transform how e-commerce and retail businesses manage their pricing and promotions. We offer real-time insights, competitor analysis, and explainable AI, so it makes it simple for people to understand. PromoLens democratizes data analysis, supporting businesses of all sizes. We turn pricing from a gamble into a precise science. So I've covered quite a bit today, how AI can optimize pricing, improve customer trust, and ultimately boost profits. That's the key thing. AI-powered pricing is about making decisions that are data-driven, not guess-driven. It's like having a GPS for our pricing strategies. AI democratizes this expertise. It stops being just an enterprise-level company solution. By embracing technology, you guys can also benefit from the power of AI pricing. And this is what Prominence is here to do. So I'll open it up for questions. I've got my team members here as well, so we can answer a few more questions. But just before we do, AI-powered pricing is not just the future, it's here, it's now. And those adopt it will have a serious, serious edge over their competition. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi.
Hi.
Very nice and interesting. Thank you for presenting. I have some questions regarding the actual implementation, like what kind of input variables do you use, like what are the forecasting horizons? Is this going to be like real-time price optimization? Is it hourly? Is it weekly? What's the granularity?
The answer is, what do you want?
Okay, cool.
Do you want it hourly? You can have it hourly.
It depends. Like if you have Black Friday, then you want it hourly, right?
Yeah, and that's possible. The key thing here is the data. The calculations can be done. It's in the cloud. It can be done instantly. It can be constantly churning. Mm-hmm. But the data sources is what's going to have the biggest effect on what AI can do.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
And so do you have like competitor data, or what is the data that you feed? What are the input variables?
So yeah, competitor data is very interesting in that it really depends on what you class as a competitor. Every retailer is different.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, okay, Nike and Adidas, great competitors. But what's the real competing products like for like? Is that data available? You know, the Nike Air, I'm making stuff up, but the Nike Air, what's the version of Adidas trainer that is the competitor pricing? Do you want to go that granular? Or do you want to know Adidas have a price sale on? They're discounting sportswear. They're discounting trainers, whatever it is. That is useful. It really depends on the client. If you're a little bit more, I don't know, specific product, and you're selling, I'm trying to think of something now, travel adapters. I bought one at the airport, great. Well, they're very substitutable. Like, I don't care where my thing comes from, but you know, if my competitor has dropped their price on that, I can drop that. I can see that that's a direct competitor competing product. So again, I'll go back. It really depends on the client, the data available. They're the key things. Their requirements and the data available.
Yeah, because I mean that's the key, as you said, like data, and also correct data. And
Yes.
I mean competitor data is usually unavailable, really. And by the time you have it, it's too late, maybe, or you know you need to do some web scraping or something.
Yep.
And it's quite tricky. So
in e-commerce, it's probably a little bit easier because you can monitor their website, literally monitor their website. And you can say there's a change, it's changed, they've done something on their website. AI can then analyze that and say, look, there's a promotion on. When it's B2B and you're selling tires, you know, what's the price that my competitors are selling their tires to that retailer? I don't know. The retailer's not going to tell me. They might tell me lies. So it's difficult. It really depends on the industry and the client. But,
yeah, great. Thank you so much.
no worries. You're welcome.
Thank you for the presentation. I have a question about competitors. So, for example, if I am a marketplace B and I have two competitors, A and C, And I found out that some products are very low in the price, so they attempt the market just to flood the market with their products, just to have a bigger share of the market. And what the strategy in these cases for the company be?
Interesting. We talk about profitability as at Prominence because that's really our main focus. How do I sell as many products as possible to make sure that my revenue is as high as possible, my profit is as high as possible? But obviously customers say, yes, I want to buy market share and I want to lower my price to as little as... But again, calculating that nuance between as many as possible and what the right price should be, that's still calculatable with AI. You know, I need to sell 1,000 of these products. What price should I set that at? Traditional, what you would do as a retailer, you go, okay, look, we can make a loss for 6 months on these products. Let's do it at this price. And you'll sell, great, you'll sell lots of them. But what it might have been is, I sell them at 10 euros. I'm just putting a price up there. But you might have sold 1,000 of those products at 15 euros. AI and price elasticity, using AI, allows you to calculate that. So traditionally, again, it's just that finger in the air. What do we think? What's our gut telling us? It's not accurate. It's not a science. So hopefully that's answered your question a little bit. Thank you.
Thanks for your nice presentation. I have a small question. So you talked about personalizing the price for every customer, and you talked about elasticity of the price. But what happens if you have a new user and he hasn't made purchases in the past? So we have very less information about that user. So how do we handle these kind of situations? Because it requires data to make some predictions.
Yeah, so when we talk about specific new customers, we're usually talking about channels and types of customers that they are. I always kind of give the example, you know, I come through Google Ads, great, this is my behavior. I've clicked on this advert, this is my behavior. You've clicked through Meta, Instagram, whatever it is, I'm just making it up, or email, or whatever marketing channel that you've just created. It's those people are behave in this way. You know, we know that you've clicked through Meta, you're going to pay full price. We know that. Your typical behavior is going to be like that. But I clicked through Google. I'm a price hunter. I want to get things cheap. I got to reduce my price a little bit. So it can be like that. It's again, I go back. It's the data that you can collect. The more data you have on that specific person, then great. If it's new, they've come through. You need to work on the marketing channels, the routes to market, as much information you can gather on that person.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. Okay. Oh, one more.
Hello. Thank you for your presentation, really. If we assume that we are working with supermarkets, we have, let's assume, 10,000 of articles, grocery, fresh, whatever is in classic supermarkets. And we should determine with your tool both regular and promo prices. And beside that, also some prices for the loyalty customers, like special prices for them and so on. Do you have any idea of estimation of the cost of the resources on cloud? Prices should be changed daily, for example.
That's an interesting question. I've got my colleague Milan here who's worked on this for me. But
order like $100,000 per month or $1 million per month on cloud.
No, it's less than that. It really depends on the types of products and the number of products, number of sales. But we're not talking hundreds of thousands of euros a month. We're talking tens at most, really.
And what do you think, how long history of point of sales from point of sales, like 2 years, last 2 years, or last 2 months?
2 years is the minimum, really.
3 years.
2 years.
2 years.
3 years is better.
3
4 years is the more there is, the better it is. Some of the data over the last few years obviously skewed with the pandemic. We have to take that into account. But 2 years of data is the minimum, really. Interestingly enough, PromoLens is building a model that would allow a new entrant to the market to have the learning. So we'd be able to estimate how they should price it based upon the industry. So not necessarily specific. Specific data for you is always better. And it's a constant loop. So it keeps improving and keeps improving as well. So that's important to note.
Another question, do you have an interface to SAP promotions, for example?
Not yet. That's one of the platforms that we are working with. So at the moment, we're just focused on Shopify e-commerce stores. We have the ability to connect to any SaaS-based platform. SAP is obviously a SaaS-based platform now. We can also have APIs that we can build into. So there's always that possibility, and we can do that.
Of course.
You're probably a little bit, by the sounds of it, you're probably a little bit more of a kind of enterprise custom client for us, because you would have specific nuances and requirements. So I'd love to talk to you about that as well. So, you know,
I'm just curious,
Yeah.
is it already realized? Just that.
Yeah,
Okay,
cool. No
thank you
worries.
very much.
You're welcome.
Anthony, I want to thank you a lot on behalf of the research team. Thank you. Yes, for you.